Welcome back, Motorheads. Cool car finds on Facebook Marketplace Cruiser Edition. First got 1969 Cadillac for $12,000. You know, you just can't be bombing down the highway in one of these big old Cadillacs. These things ride amazing. And this one here from the pictures looks like it's in pretty dang decent condition. I'm definitely digging that shade of blue that's on this one here. It just kind of goes with the white top and the white interior. Now, usually I can't be nowhere near white interior because, you know, I forget that I've been working on things and I sit down in them lovely white seats and turn them black and gray and all kinds of other funny colors. And also looking at the pictures of the interior, from what we can see here, it doesn't look like it's all torn up or beat up inside there either. Now, $12,000 does seem a little high, but in today's market, that might not be too bad of an asking price. But what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Next got 1956 Oldsmobile for $26,000. Now, this is a pretty color. Now, usually I don't go for red, but this one here definitely looks good with the red and white with a white convertible top. And yes, this is a convertible top. Now, I'm a sucker for the old 50s convertibles. I absolutely love those dang things. And $26,000 in today's stupid prices, $26,000 is really not a bad starting point to try to negotiate on this one here. I just ran into a gentleman at a car show here recently who had a four-door non-post, and he was asking like 40 G's for that car. Now, I thought his cheese done fell off his cracker. Now, it is a very nice car that he had there. I'm not going to dispute that he had a bad car. It was actually in really good condition. But I think I would definitely be aiming for this 56 before I'd aim for his. But what do you guys think of this old 56? Next got 1940 Chevrolet for $14,000. Now, this here is definitely a great looking old 1940 Chevrolet. I absolutely love the lines on these cars. And what he's asking, 14 grand, it does seem a little bit on the steep side for me. But overall, from the pictures, the car appears to be in fairly decent condition. And I think this would make somebody, if you had some very good negotiation skills, I think this can make you one hell of a little cruiser. Cruise around local car shows. And depending on how good this old six-cylinder is running, hell, you might be able to take some decent road trips out of this one here. The interior on this car actually looks like it's in very good condition as well. But what do you guys think of this old 1940 Chevrolet here? And what do you think of that price tag? Leave it down in the comments. Next got 1946 Ford for $14,500. Now, this is a great looking old 46 here, and I actually dig that color green that's on here. I don't know necessarily about the red rims he's got going on there, but I still like the white walls on it. It kind of brings it all together. And from what we can see here in the pictures, the car appears to be pretty dang solid. I think this would make somebody one hell of a little cruiser as well. And I think if you sit down and actually threw some cash in this person's face, you could probably get that for a little bit better than $14,500. Now, another cool factor of this one here, it's still got the old flathead V8, and nothing beats that sound. Next got 1964 Ford for $17,500. Now, even though I'm more partial to GM, I'm actually digging this little Fairlane. I like it. I like everything about it. I like the color. I like the way it sits. Just overall, a pretty decent looking car. Now, I don't think $17,500 is the right price tag on this car here. But I think if you could get this for a lot better price, back to the reality kind of pricing on this particular one here, this would make somebody one hell of a little cruiser. And from the pictures, this car actually appears to be in pretty decent condition. Even the interior doesn't look too terrible. But what do you guys think of this little 64, and what do you think of that price tag? Leave it down in the comments. Next got 1959 Ford for $15,000. Now, this one here is definitely one of my least favorite body styles of the Ford. Overall, I don't think this car is in bad condition, and I know there's a lot of you guys out there who absolutely love these old Fords. I like the taillights on these, but that's about as far as I can get on them. I absolutely dislike the front end of these cars. I think they're massively ugly. I just don't think they did the body lines right on this particular car. But from the pictures, this one here appears to be in pretty decent shape. And I think this one here, if you're really into these cars, this might not be a bad little car to pick up if you want to go cruising with the family. You got plenty of room in there to take some loved ones along with you. And overall, like I said, the car appears to be in pretty decent shape. But what do you guys think of the old Ford? Next got 1954 Chevrolet for $16,000. Now, as most of you guys definitely know, I'm a sucker for these old Chevrolets. I love the 53 and 54 Chevrolets. Always have, always will. This one here is definitely not a bad looking little 54 Chevrolet. I do think he's reaching on the $16,000 price tag on this car. I don't see anything here that really screams this car is worth $16,000. That's my personal opinion. Now, overall, I do still think this would make somebody one hell of a cruiser, because it's definitely got good lines. You know, I might be biased, but I think it's one of the better looking early Chevrolets out there, and I think you could have a lot of fun with this car if you could get it for the right price. But what do you guys think of this little 54? Leave it down in the comments. Next, got 1952 Chevrolet for $26,500. Now, this here is definitely a great looking 52, even though it's not one of my favorites. I just don't like the tail part of these old 52s. I think the 53 just made it look a hell of a lot better. But overall, from the pictures, this car looks to be in great condition. Now, is it worth what he's asking? He's got a lot of work in it. We definitely can see that, and we definitely can see that in his description. This is one you definitely have to go look at in person before you really started considering that kind of price tag. That's my personal thought. But overall, I don't think this is a bad little Chevrolet here, and I think it would make somebody a really cool cruiser, especially if you like the 1952 Chevrolet. But what do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. Next, got 1953 Ford for $24,000. Now, this here is a great looking old 53 Ford. It's absolutely, from the pictures, it looks to be a very well maintained and very well kept car. My father had one of these when I was growing up, and you know, it was really just a fun car. I absolutely love riding this old thing. I wish he would have kept it, but he didn't. You know, things might have changed. I might have became a Ford person after that if he'd have kept this around. Who knows? Just kidding. I would have probably still been a GM guy, just the way it worked out. Because the old man really was a GM guy. I think when he bought his, it was just out of necessity. Anyway, from the pictures, this car here appears to be, like I said, in great condition. I don't know about the price tag on that. I definitely think you should try to get that a little bit better. But I still think this would make somebody one hell of a little cruiser. But what's your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments. Next, got 1967 Chevrolet for $25,900. Now, this here is definitely a great looking old Impala. I love the old Impalas. I like the 68 a little bit better, but I still like the 67 as well. And from the pictures of this car here, the body looks to be in really good condition. Now, there is one little secret hiding under the hood of this one here. It does have a modern drivetrain. It does have a nice little 5.3 LS under there. Now, you know me, I'm not really always the biggest fan of LS the world like everybody's trying to do nowadays, but it is a good, reliable engine. I can't lie. As long as you DOD delete everything in there. Make sure you don't have all that, you know, stupid-ass crap going on there to destroy your engine. Now, overall, like I said, from the pictures, this car appears to be in great shape, and I don't necessarily think the price tag is too terrible on this one here, especially in today's market. But honestly, I think everything on the list wasn't too far-fetched on what they were asking. At least you had a good place to start a negotiation from. Well, that's all I got for you today. If you liked today's video, make sure you smash that like button, even subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.